What's up and welcome to Inktober 2022. In this video I'm going to be showing you the inspiration and kind of talk about the drawings that I did this year. This is my 4th year doing it, and if you're interested in seeing the other years that I did it, you can check out the Inktober playlist, which will be in the void. Now, for those who don't know, Inktober is a yearly drawing challenge that takes place in October, in which you are supposed to make ink drawings based on the prompts. There's 31 prompts and you can do them at your own pace. Yeah, the whole point of Inktober is that it's an ink drawing and that you share it, you know, whether that be in social media or with your friends, whatever. The point is to draw something based on a prompt and then share it. So yeah, I'm just going to show you the art that I drew and kind of talk about the meanings of my drawings. Back in 2019, I had the opportunity to go to see the Duomo in Milan, Italy. Apart from just the general architecture, because I'm a big fan of Gothic architecture and stuff like that, I really love the gargoyles. And so I had this idea of, what if they came to life? So that's what this picture is my recreation of one of the gargoyles on the Duomo, and then it is alive, you know, looking over like like a roof or a ledge of some sort, observing the plaza below. So scurry, it makes me think of rats, and I had seen this image recently, and I'll just show it to you. It's my recreation of this drawing, which I think is hilarious. Now this is my tribute to Dracula Daily, which I read earlier this year. I'm gonna leave a link in the void to the thing if you want to subscribe to it, but anyways, I had really enjoyed it, and this is my tribute to Dracula. I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm a really big fan of the edge of the cape and how I did the teeth in the eyes. I thought that, you know, I'm pretty proud of that. I think that looks pretty good. This is Scallop. I wanted to do a Little Mermaid. I wanted to do something a little bit less traditional, so it's kind of scaly all the way through. And I really liked how I gave it like the little hands have little webbing between them and stuff like that. And so yeah, when I was thinking of scallops, I first thought of Gordon Ramsay and how he says scallops, please, and then I thought about making a Little Mermaid. So that's what I did. I was thinking, honestly, mostly of flame eaters. So yeah, I just decided to do a match and someone is about to eat the match, or you could make it a vague interpretation of that one scene from Jennifer's Body. This was a pretty simple drawing. I decided to do all in one line, so I didn't lift my pen at any point in the drawing. This is all done with one line, and I'm actually really enjoying this kind of style. I did a drawing last year with it, and I found that this one turned out a lot better than my previous attempts. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one. These little dead roses, I thought it was cute. So this is someone who is tripping. I actually had a lot of fun, you know, kind of doing the basic drawing, but also trying to, like, I want to make it less plain, and so I thought, hey, why don't I do it like this? I don't even know what you would call this, but just this alternating black and white. And I thought it turned out pretty good in the end, you know, just to mark where the joints end and begin, and I just had, I don't know, it was a simple drawing, but I had a lot of fun doing it. So this is a ghost hand. It actually looked really good, and then I kind of screwed it up by adding the thumb. If I had not drawn, I wanted to show like the transparency aspect. It's supposed to be a ghost hand in front, and I was like, hey, why don't I draw the thumb so it really looks transparent, but it just looks weird now. So when I thought of nest, the first thing that came into my head was the Baya weaver nests. They're these really weird nests where they're like hanging from trees, and I'll show you a picture of it here of what it looks like in real life, but it's just like, just read up on it. Like, it's such a strange nest. I've never seen anything like it. I thought it was so cool, and so I wanted to represent that, and I had a lot of fun doing this one, especially trying to get the texture and trying to show that it's like round. Kind of ish, like a teardrop shape. I think I did pretty well with that, and so I also like the little bird that I drew inside it. So that's Nest.
They swarm all over their intended victim, but there's no way their tiny jaws are going to pierce the crab's thick outer skeleton. Instinctively, they probe for its weak points. One group examines the legs and claws for a way in. They search for the vulnerable joints and hack their way into the leg. Using knife-like mandibles, they slice away the soft tissue. And as the joint is ripped and the tear widened, the smaller workers are able to climb right into the crab's legs to reach the muscles inside. Another group checks out the mouth. They seem to work together. The larger soldiers prise open the mouth parts, so smaller workers can squeeze through and attack the softer tissues behind. The ants are dwarfed by the crab, yet with so many attacking at one time, even a fully armoured crab doesn't stand a chance. Ants eat from inside out.
We've probably heard of this before. This is a blood eagle. I don't think that this is, it's kind of contested. Like some people say, oh yes, the Vikings really did do this. Some people say it's not a real thing that they did. But basically it's when you open the skin, break up the ribs, expose the lungs. A lot of people use alcohol to forget. I think this one is pretty self-explanatory. When I saw the prompt kind, I immediately thought of natural kinds, which is a topic in philosophy, and I guess like the TLDR of it is like, do categories, it's like the layman's terms way to explain this is like basically, are categories real? Do they exist in nature, or is this stuff like man-made? For example, let's take cats. When you talk about cats, you don't like list every single feline and whatever before, you know, starting your sentence and starting the conversation. You just group them all under cats. And so, you know, there is this question in philosophy of, do these sorts of categories, like in everything, you know, chemistry, physics, biology, whatever it is, you know, taxonomy is the best kind of clearest example that most people are going to understand. But like, does this exist? Is this a real thing? Yeah, and it's, you know, there's questions of, is this just a semantic thing? Like, is this just a language thing? And that are we just, do we create these categories just to make life easier for us? Do these categories actually exist in nature? In that if humans didn't exist, could the category of cats exist on its own? Or is it something that humans created in order to better understand and classify and kind of categorize the world around us? I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory. It's, you know, when you're feeling hollow inside, when someone opening themselves up and there's nothing in there. Okay, this is one thing I really like about like Roman history and like the Roman Empire and stuff like that, is that one of their tactics was, when they were attacking and stuff, to create this little armadillo formation of shields. And I just thought that was so interesting and it's so fun. So they're basically covering and protecting themselves and creating this little tank for them to get down to the, you know, through the battlefield and stuff like that. And I just thought that was really cool. This is a fowl decomposing. I thought that it would just be kind of interesting to show the decomposition process. You know, death positive over here. I think that decomposition is really interesting. One time I found a dead mouse and I actually watched it decompose. I put it in the backyard and just watched the natural decomposition process. And so I'm kind of fascinated by that, and I thought it'd be fun to draw that. So this one is Salty Tears. I wanted to go really, really minimalist with this one, and I like how the tears, it kind of gives the illusion of a cheek, I think, at least. I like to think that it does. This is a bit more cartoony, obviously, and it's when you scrape your knee, especially when you're a kid. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a little cartoony looking leg here, a little goofy. It's a pony, and it has a tail. It's a ponytail. I just realized that this is my second Twilight reference. I drew one last year and I drew one again this year, and this is a bluff. A bluff can be when you're bluffing, but there's also bluff as in like a cliff sort of thing, and Bella in New Moon goes cliff diving, and so she's kind of jumping off of bluffs. Okay, so I waited quite a while before taking this picture. I thought I took a picture of it, but it seems that I didn't. But here's a little video of this horrible looking orange at this point, but I thought that I would do Inktober, and I was like, hey, who says that my medium needs to be paper? It is ink, and it just so happens that I drew in an orange. So, and I don't know, this orange had like this weird little nub, so I thought it looked like a little muzzle. When I think of heists, I always think of these black ski masks, and so, yeah, I drew one. Booger, you know, digging for gold. Fairies. So when I think of fairies, I honestly think of kind of traditional folklore fairies and how they're almost always extremely devious entities, and I love them. And so when I thought about it, I thought I was just envisioning this little pair of eyes that are just looking at you mischievously with this big grin and full of sharp little teeth ready to mess with you. On Saturday night, I would see men lusting after half-naked girls dancing at the carnival, and on Sunday morning when I was playing the organ for tent show evangelists at the other end of the carnival lot, I would see these same men sitting in the pews with their wives and children, asking God to forgive them and purge them of carnal desires. And the next Saturday night, they'd be back at the carnival or some other place of indulgence. Okay, when I thought of ego, I thought of id, ego, superego. Reality is I actually don't know much about it in general, and so this was just kind of an interesting thought of, I don't know, how I guess you would think of your subconscious and whatnot. I decided to give you a recipe for one of my favorite snacks. 2 or you can do 3 even. Sometimes. I usually do way less yogurt than this. I usually do like 100 grams of yogurt. That's it, and then when you eat it, you're supposed to, hold on, take it like that so that you have, you know, a little bit of sweetness. So yeah, that's the snack. Those are meant to be organs, okay? And that's supposed to be blood. I hope the message has gotten across. But yeah, I really liked this prompt, actually. I had a lot of fun with this one. This is meant to be kind of when you have a crazy dream, scary dream, or you have some kind of realization about yourself, and you're like, oh no, uh-oh. This is gear, and this is meant to represent some of the gear that is seen in have you heard of the Left-Right game? The Left-Right game being a scary story that was posted to, I believe, the No Sleep subreddit, and the Dark Somnium made a recording of it. And I have listened to, it's 6 hours long, and I'm currently on my 3rd re-listen to it, but I absolutely love this story so much. It's about people who get on a road, and first they take, you know, a left, then the next possible right, and then the next possible left, and so on and so forth. And there's a, you know, they end up in a place that's not really in this world, and they go, and it's interesting. I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil it. I'm gonna leave a link to it in the void. In the Left-Right game, you got the gas thingy. I can't remember what it's called. A walkie-talkie, spare tire, and a little pot for rice specifically. This is farm, and you might be like, how on earth is this a farm? Well, this is a reference to Doc M77. Doc is a member of the Hermitcraft server, and one thing that I really love about him is, first of all, his crazy farms. He's, you know, that's where I got the prompt idea from, was farm. But what I really like about Doc is how he always includes his community and always talking about his community. And I wanted to do a little tribute to the hive mind, you know, because he's always talking about his community and always thanking them, and so I thought that was really, really sweet of him, and that he genuinely cares about his community. And so I thought I would do my own, you know, tribute to the hive mind and a little thing for Doc. He's been quite influential in my own content recently, Minecraft-wise. I'm less afraid of making, you know, trying out redstone and trying out farms. And, you know, obviously I'm not breaking the bounds of Minecraft here. But, you know, I've had my own ideas every once in a while, like I made a little skulk farm, and I did that by myself. I didn't like look up any tutorials. I actually was gonna look up a tutorial initially, but I saw that there were none. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'll do a little problem solving. I'll try this by myself. And I made it, and I'm actually really proud of my little skulk farm. That's in part due to Doc just seeing how he's always experimenting, and it's like, well, why can't I, you know? And then the other way that he's inspired me is actually in my editing for my own Minecraft series, in that if you watch my earlier Minecraft series, my earliest videos, like I don't know, it's constant editing, and like there's a lot of music, and actually I used to swear a lot. I had a bit of a potty mouth in the earlier episodes, and I've kind of calmed down over the years. You know, I'm a little bit less neurotic, at least in my episodes, and I've found it kind of nice that I don't really feel the need to be over editing things, basically. Like, I don't know, I was watching his content and I realized how much I really, really loved his chill vibe, and I was like, I could do that too if I really wanted to. And so I really like the idea of just kind of changing my style a little bit, and I honestly find that it suits me a lot more. And he's kind of inspired me to be able to just let go a little bit, in the sense of like, I don't need to add music and constantly be searching for new music. I don't need to edit out every little mistake. Like if I stumble over my words, I don't have to cut that out, or, you know, I can leave a little bit of, I guess you could say, dead air, if that's what you want to call it. Like, basically, I can chill a little bit more, is what I'm trying to say. So I know the chances are really low of him ever seeing this, but Doc, if you see this, thank you for the inspiration and being such a chill player and whatnot. I'm really enjoying your stuff, and I really admire your creativity and stuff like that. So yeah, that is farm. Okay, so just as a little final thoughts, this year's Inktober went terribly because I did almost none of the drawing in October. You know, you get the prompt list in like the beginning-ish of September, and so I, you know, wrote down all of my ideas like at the beginning of September, and then didn't draw anything. And then it was like the end of October, and I started drawing some stuff, and I was gonna just cram it, but I couldn't, like I did last year, and I just couldn't do it. So I ended up drawing the stuff in mostly November, and even some drawings in December. So it did not go well. You know, that being said, I did enjoy the actual drawings that I did. I had a lot of fun, especially with the final one, farm. I've never drawn metal before, and so, you know, like the phrase blood, sweat, and tears, I did not cry, I did not bleed over that piece, but I absolutely started sweating because I was so nervous, because I'd never drawn metal before. Like, I never sketched metal with pencil, I've never inked it. First I did obviously a pencil drawing, and then I inked it, but like I didn't practice shading the metal at all. I just kind of went for it. And yeah, I was sweating during some parts because, you know, it's an ink drawing. If you screw it up, it's on the page forever. So, and there actually were a couple of moments where I did screw it up. So that was not great, but I think I managed to save it, and I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, that's it. Peace.